What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another East of Stretford podcast. Today, we're talking United finally crushing a shit team. We beat Watford 3-0. Bruno got on the score sheet. Martial got on the score sheet. And obviously, Mason Greenwood played, so he got on the score sheet. Vishnu, what do you think? Do you think that they were shit, or were we actually just fucking good?
To be fair, I think it was just like one person who just made the difference in the whole match, honestly speaking, because as soon as the game started, I think the first 15, 20 minutes, both teams were just abysmal with the ball.
Right.
No one was holding possession. The shots were not even connecting. There was a lot of loose balls in play. And then you could just see the magic that is Bruno Fernandes. He made all the difference in the game today. I think, apart barring him and glimpses of energy from Martial and maybe a couple of the United defenders, it was a very mediocre game. But yeah, this guy made it all different. His attraction with the ball and everything he did, like including just like getting the ball into as much as possible, just gave a sort of confidence to the rest of the United team, and they stepped up to the plate. I think mostly it was in the second half, and very happy with the win. There is 2 wins on the trot now. The race to the 4th place is still in play, and let's hope our prediction comes true.
Yeah. Karthik, what do you think?
Yeah, dude, definitely, dude. I completely agree with Vishnu on this as well. I think it's that one. Especially when we started to get into the game a lot more. It was pretty evident, like the kind of change that Bruno Fernandes has kind of brought into the team. And it's just not with himself. Like the moment he has the ball, everyone is confident to like play their own game too, make those runs. I feel like the reason a lot of our football earlier it seemed like we were lacking a lot of confidence in making plays, making quick decisions, which was clearly the opposite in the Watford game. I don't think I've seen a game like that where we've been more sure about our passes. We know exactly what to do. Martial's making the right runs, the wing backs are making right runs, but they know that, and that's only when Bruno has the ball, especially. So he's been dictating it so well, and considering he's only been here for a month now, I think the kind of change he has brought amongst the team and the way we're all playing, I think it was fantastic. I mean, the penalty was all him. Martial's goal, I agree. The pass wasn't probably that spot on, but still he found Martial, and then Martial it was disgusting, bro.
That goal was actually disgusting.
I did not see that's the thing about Martial too. Like when he's playing with the right players, he suddenly just fucking pulls shit out of his ass, out of nowhere. Like, we know he's got that kind of skill and talent in him, but I feel like it's just been a lack of confidence. Like, I feel like he's also stopped making those runs. I think it's a weird form of conditioning that he's been through with like so many different change in styles of play and everything. And now suddenly he's found that one person who knows exactly, he knows that they're going to find him regardless, So I think he's more confident in making those runs as well. And we saw it, dude. We saw like final score, the way we played with so much confidence towards at least, okay, the first half we were a little shaky, but second half we seemed like a team that could easily challenge for the top 4, like with just like, if we keep this consistent on a consistent basis, like I always say. But
yeah, dude. I think I want to touch on Bruno first, like you guys did. Bruno was sensational, dude. And like you were saying, I think the biggest thing is that people make runs when Bruno is on the ball because they know he'll find. Dude, he was making passes that I couldn't even see on the TV. Like there was some pass to Mason Greenwood who made like a weird diagonal run.
Yeah,
and I was like, shit. Like that's a Pogba type pass. And I think what he has that Pogba skill set of being able to find a pass, but he's also running his dick off for the team, dude. Like he doesn't stop running, man.
If he's not in midfield, if he knows that he's not needed in midfield, he's going up front, and I think that's what's fantastic. Like people are not just staying and holding their positions; they're doing more, they're moving around more, and when Bruno is not in midfield, he's up in attack. Or when he needs to be in midfield and like sort of like be a part of the build-up play, he's there. He's there when you need him. And I think and everyone's constantly looking for him and just planning to just give it to him and then make the damn run. He will find you.
We shouldn't get so dependent on him, like, because we did get so dependent on
That-
Pogba, but
did, yeah.
having him is fucking awesome. And just imagine if fucking Rashford, and if we got Sancho in, baby, that would be dirty. That team would be
Absolutely.
so
Oh my
dirty.
God.
Imagine, dude, look at the pace already in this team. Imagine if fucking Sancho also comes on board. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
And if we could somehow, dude, I still love Pogba. If we could somehow just keep that fucker and have both of them like running up with the ball, and someone like Fred just cleaning up, and Scott McTominay
It
cleaning
will
up.
be.
No, I feel like that's what we're missing as well, because like I know for a fact that if Pogba and Bruno play, say, 1 or 2 games together, I think that might just change the whole mentality of the thing. There's more like the midfield is so much more fluid now. You can see, I think Matic, like even Matic was just holding ground. Matic and Fred are playing very well with Bruno,
Yeah.
because they're just holding it back, and then Bruno's just making these attacking runs, getting into the box. And dude, this guy's just, I don't know, a blessing in disguise, man. We really needed him, and yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Imagine just like you have Pogba and Bruno on either ends, and then you got Rashford and Martial. That's ridiculous,
And
man.
everyone is so free to play their own game, dude, because they know that now Matic and Fred don't have to worry about like making plays, or like, they just they can play their own game. And you can see how even Matic, dude, like he's done his job really well, especially since Bruno has come into the team. So I think that's also another point. Like I would kind of like to like Matic to be there in the squad next season as well, so that just have a little bit more of a depth, like someone who can come in and play the final 20 minutes of the game or something, while and I think he's a very good addition to especially the way he's playing now. Like the Matic we really want to see. I think that's coming out more as well. I mean, even though
he's an experienced person, so
Yeah.
we definitely need some experience. We can't go all for you.
yeah,
And I think I want to wrap up on Bruno by saying that he should have had 2 assists as well. Like the Martial one, he didn't finish it off the first time.
That was his as well, yeah.
That was his, and he got the penalty all by himself. So he won us that game. And without him, I don't see where we would have got broken the deadlock from. Because without his creativity, there's literally nothing, dude. Like we'd be relying on Martial to do what he did against Bruges and just go like from halfway line and fucking do some insane shit.
I think it's like important to point out also, like Bruno, 3 starts, he's got 2 assists, 1 goal, and 3 man of the match awards. That is insane statistics. And also point out and also to point out that since Bruno has come into the side, Martial has scored 3 goals in 4 games. So you can see that I don't think that's a coincidence, because you can definitely see the link up between these 2 players. And yeah, blessed to have a midfielder like this on our side.
Yeah, I agree, dude. He's been such an awesome signing. I just wish we could have got him in the summer, but we haven't.
Imagine that. If we had got him, like we wouldn't have gone through. Maybe we would have even competed for the top 3.
Yeah. He hasn't even had time to settle into the team, I would say. Like for any other player, like settling in so quickly is like he's already dictating terms on the field. Like he wants players to like he's told them that I feel like he's just told them that, you guys go ahead, make the run, I will find you. And
dude, he
they
asked for
have
the
so
ball
much
every
trust in him.
possession.
And they have so much trust in him, bro. It's fantastic. I mean, I know, agreed, we shouldn't put all our trust into that player, but the good thing now is that, everyone is sort of finding their areas where they can just go ahead and play their own game. So I think that's fantastic.
But just finally that position is sorted out. Like we've been like trying, we've been Pogba, this, that. That is Bruno Fernandes. And he's number 18, taking that number from Paul Scholes. We have someone there now, which is fucking awesome. So I think
a little link up with Maguire again this game. I think Maguire missed open header. But Bruno.
Oh yes.
So this is not the last we're gonna see a link up between these 2 players for sure. Maguire's gonna get on the score sheet a lot more because of Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, dude. We have someone who can play the ball in. We have someone who can do set pieces, and he's taken penalties. Like you can see,
oh my God.
Finally we have a penalty taker as well. Like,
and he was bro. That penalty was just class. It was it was great.
It was balls of steel on your first penalty.
Yeah, it was.
But I think the other big talking point of the game was that fucking Watford were pretty damn shit. And in the first 15 minutes, like you said, Vishnu, we were all over the place. They nearly scored. They had like, I think Luke Shaw saved us on Troy Deeney, just fucking, having an open goal.
Didn't know what to do.
He just banged into him, dude.
Yeah.
And I think Watford were pretty damn shit. Like, their defense was fucked. And, I said De La Feu should come to United, but I take that back completely.
Yeah.
Dude, he just let Greenwood, like, completely go off on that third goal. And he offered no resistance whatsoever. So, in my opinion, I think Watford were, really, really bad at the back. Like, they didn't really offer anything. They weren't really marking our guys properly. Their counterattacks kept being really shit. Vishnu, what do you think? How do you think they played?
Yeah, they had a very mediocre game compared. So if you look at a little bit of the statistics, they had only 7 shots with 2 on target. I think both were De Gea saves. They were pretty good saves as well. They had only 42 possession of the ball and only 420 passes. Their defense was quite poor, but I also would really like to give credit to United's forward because I think what we were missing was honestly I'd like to give a lot of credit to the wingers because Daniel James, even though he does still seem like he has a lot to be. Hear me out though. I think that his inclusion in the side this game only, and I'm only speaking with this game, him and Mason Greenwood on either ends, they were making some good runs, and Daniel James did assist Bruno Fernandes. He had a good shot as well from the side, which was saved by Foster, and also that was a missed opportunity by Wan-Bissaka, if you guys remember that.
The volley.
So I just don't think they were able to keep up with the pace of United's wingers. Martial obviously was exceptional. He was running a lot more than I have seen him run in the past few games. He started smiling again, which is good, which is great news. I just don't think I just don't think they had any answer for Bruno's attacks and spur little incisions into the ball. Simple as that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Karthik.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was getting at too. I mean, considering our last game to Watford, we drew against them, right? It was 0-0. Yeah, that game was fucking abysmal, bro. What the fuck was that game? It was so boring. Like, we could see the lack of, we saw like how. See, I feel like if we did not have Bruno in this game, like that's exactly how, yesterday's game would have gone on as well. So I feel like he's Watford right from the beginning. I think they were not a strong team, and this is how we should be playing against a team like this. And so that's good to see. And now we just need to keep riding on this momentum. I think that's extremely key here because it's literally the last 10 games of the season. And this is it, guys. Like, if we can't pick up on this momentum, then I don't. We should pick up on this momentum.
Yeah, just to correct you as well, Watford beat us at home 2-0.
Yeah, I was trying to search for that as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So
just
that's even.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but that's the thing, right? We've performed so poorly against so many, bottom table teams that I think it's good to see this. I think, and also we played good football. Like, it's not just that we just got, a scrappy 2-0 victory or something. This was a comprehensive win. Like, we were the better team and we won, and that's how it should be. So
yeah, I mean, let's also put it out there that there was another big VAR decision in this game. And again, it went to United's favor. And Vishnu, you said in the last podcast that you don't think it goes our favor. I completely disagree, dude. Every time an opponent scores against us, I'm like 90% sure VAR is going to call it out or some shit. Because, dude, like, to be fair to the Watford player, yes, his hand is involved in getting the ball to, David De Gea, who has to then, move it out. And whoever was there, Troy Deeney, can easily tap it in. But, dude, there's literally nothing the guy could have done. Like, he literally could, like, do nothing. It had to hit him on the arm. So, what do you think? Do you think that was that should have stood, or do you agree with the decision?
I don't agree with the decision. I think it should have been a Watford goal because I'm not entirely sure if there was contact, but Lindelof was ahead of the ball first, and I felt like there was a teeny bit of a deflection, which kind of changed the angle. There is nothing that the Watford player could have done, and yeah, I've seen goals like this been given in the past. So that's why it's a bit shocking to see that because as soon as they scored, I wasn't too worried because at that time we were picking up our pace. But again, like the last game against Chelsea, it could have had a serious impact on the game. We never know what a goal might do. If you're on the back foot again, you might play a bit more defensively, go the whole like Mourinho way and play on the bench or something like that, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, it did make a it's again like
I think,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna complain. It's just still gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, unfortunate to be a Watford fan if there are, any out there.
Yeah, dude. I think we're all in agreement with this anyway. I thought it was I thought it was a little too harsh for sure. But you know what's funny? So when this moment happened, my streaming service started buffering. So as soon as they scored, it started buffering, and I was like, "Fuck!" But then for a minute, I was like, "Oh shit, VAR!" Like a lot of shit happened there. I just had a feeling that it would completely, for some reason, that it wasn't a goal. And then you messaged on the group, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, see, I knew it. Like it was gonna happen."
Yeah,
But
dude.
but then you're right about the thing that yes, usually it's been going our way lately, so that's
Yeah.
good. We got a little bit of luck there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should necessarily overshadow our performance either.
But it could have changed the game.
It
could
was
have
a
changed.
game defining moment. I agree.
Yeah.
We could have been playing a lot differently. It would have been interesting to see for sure. But I don't know, man. I just felt like despite the shaky start or whatever, we still like showed a good amount of resilience in the way Bruno still came out, even if like a couple of passes here and there. Like we've seen this before from a midfield too. They try something, and if it doesn't work out, we never try it again. You know. But
Yeah.
Bruno didn't care. He knew exactly what he was doing every time he had the ball.
Yeah.
So I think, but that's the kind of, so it was, I feel like, yeah, so I don't think the VAR should necessarily overshadow United's performance, but it was extremely unfortunate for Watford. But
Yeah,
what
fair. But it was like playing a shit 10 years ago Man United rejects team because Tom Cleverley was on the
yeah.
field.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck was on the
Welbeck
field.
comes on, bro. Oh, I was
And
like,
Ben Foster was
Ben
on
yeah.
the field. So, yeah, I don't know, like those names you just completely forgot even
Yeah.
exist are still playing for Watford. But then the other big talking point that I wanted to touch up on was, we've been talking about this in previous podcasts, especially our transfer window podcast. Are we now starting to trust Tony Martial more? Is he our number 9? Do we bring in a backup? There's a lot of rumors about Musa Dembele coming in. Karthik, what do you think, bro?
Um, I'm still not too sure about this dude. So, Martial, right now, yeah, we've seen 3 games. He scored 3 goals. He's on a good, he's on a good run right now. He's had these runs before, so I would like to see a few more games before I completely decide that we probably shouldn't go in for another big number 9. Maybe like have someone who can, like Ighalo, for instance. If Ighalo doesn't end up, if he does end up performing well this season, I think whenever he's come on so far, he's had a shot on target, and I think that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I mean, I feel like he's got the striker instinct as well in him. So he's, someone similar to him would be great. But yeah, I can't make a final call on this yet. I would like to see how far Martial carries this form. So yeah.
Yeah, Vishnu.
If you go back to our posts and please do check it out on Instagram, Karthik is the only one of the three of us who's got Martial on his starting 11, and I don't, maybe we might just, for making fun of him so much, we might,
You
it might be a
bitches.
little bit of a karma right now, but yeah, um,
It's not karma, it's good for us, dude.
it is great for
It's
us.
The
great.
rest of his team was still
Oh,
shit.
shit. Shut up.
Go back and look at it. Like, if
Whatever,
you haven't
man.
watched that
I
video,
have
Watch that
I'm
video.
seeing things that you guys are not seeing. Okay, I'm like,
So you never know. I
Yeah.
think we could see it reincarnated, Martial. I think it's just he was overwhelmed without the presence of Rashford, that he had the sole responsibility to score the goals for Man United, as no one else was doing it at that time. So you never know. I think, yeah, I agree with Karthik completely on this. We need to see a few more games, especially our fixtures come up ahead, how they'll link up more, because they're not going to have good days forever. We know that. They might have a bad off day here and there, and that'll truly define where Tony Martial is. From what I've seen in the last 4 games with Bruno in the force and McTominay coming back from injury, I think he needs a solid midfielder feeding him those balls. And like, I know you're not the biggest fan of, so let's say we take him out of the equation and bring a world-class winger as well there. It might just make the difference. I think there's 31 games he's played this season. He scored 15 goals already, which is quite a decent statistic. I think he's on his way to having his most successful Manchester United season. So you never know, man. Like, it just takes 2 or 3 games to, like, truly change your perception of a player.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, I still think we need another center forward, probably a different type of center forward, someone more like Igalo. I still don't think Igalo is the answer at all.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Let's bring
I
in
mean, yeah, I
he's
Cavani.
agree.
good. He's
I've
Like,
called it.
yeah,
Let's bring in Cavani.
Cavani.
honestly, like, the more I think about Cavani, the more I think, like, yeah, that's not actually a bad, like, for a one
Yeah,
year thing. Like, the more I think about it, it makes sense.
yeah,
Um,
and I think Cavani is also in a much better spot than Ibra was when he, moved to United as well. Like he was much. I mean,
don't even
Ibra was
say
much
that.
older. Like,
Blasphemy. That's some bullshit.
no, dude.
That
Okay,
is some.
Ibra scored. No, dude, come
Ibra
on.
was
Like
leading PSG before he left. He
he
literally
was,
played in
but
the
then it
semifinal
was
of the Champions
evident
League.
he was much slower. He wasn't the Ibra he used to be.
Dude, fuck
But
off with that shit, dude. What are you talking about? Zlatan carried us the first year, not even Pogba. Zlatan
he didn't
brought
catch.
us.
Okay,
No,
fine. He
He
was.
didn't
in
carry us.
Karthik's defense,
He
and
did.
this doesn't happen much, Karthik. So, bank on this. In Karthik's defense, when Ibra did join, we had Di Maria, we had Wayne Rooney, we
We didn't have
had
Di Maria.
we had Di Maria on the
No,
opening
we
year.
didn't. We
Are you
didn't.
sure about that?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. We had Mkhitaryan. We had.
Mkhitaryan. Sorry, that's what I meant, not
Dude,
Di Maria.
Mkhitaryan didn't even play for the first 4 months of that season.
Mkhitaryan
Mourinho had him in the
was
doghouse.
yes.
Like, dude,
No, I'm
Zlatan,
just saying
like,
Ibra did
come on.
well. I'm not saying he did. Obviously, Ibra was fantastic for us, dude. That's not what I'm saying. I
Cavani
feel
doesn't
like,
even start, bro. Like, he doesn't start. He's on the
bro,
bench.
right now,
No,
like
I'm not
PSG
gonna
have a
take that.
10
Yeah.
times more better team than what when Ibra had come from PSG at that point. So
No,
I mean,
that's not.
but that's what I'm saying. Like Cavani would be. I don't think he would be a bad addition. But again,
I
I
agree
don't.
with that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but Zlatan's a fucking king. He's still in AC Milan at 40
Oh yeah.
scoring
He's
goals,
doing.
dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's the king.
I'm not saying I'm not. Dude, Zlatan is the fucking king, bro. There's no doubt. But
Yeah.
I think just physically, like Cavani is still there, more there than what Zlatan was. But yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
We'll take that offline.
Yeah.
So, on to the last point. I think we're playing Bruges on Thursday.
Yeah.
This could be one of our biggest games of the season. It doesn't. We have a away goal, so we're good. Tony Martial again, taking the ball from out of nothing, scoring a goal, and Bruges scoring a complete bullshit goal because Romero made his first mistake as a
Yeah.
United player. We're at home. I think we didn't play Bruno. We didn't.
Yeah.
Scotty is now back. I feel like it should be pretty comfortable. Vishnu, what do you? I'm thinking 2-0 on our side. Vishnu, what are you thinking?
Just to sum up the first game as well, I had a little bit of issues that I have to get it out because like
A little bit.
That was a shit game.
we're just gonna touch on it briefly.
Yeah.
Because Ole in the pre-match interview before the Bruges game, he said that the Europa League game is gonna be it'll be a great achievement to have. It's a dream for any club to even win in a European championship, European tournament. And then like he goes in and plays a bullshit squad. And if you're trying to I have like a little piece of advice for Ole, if you're trying to say stuff like this, at least back it up with your actions. If you're saying that you're gonna like bring out like the best team and stuff, bring out your best team. Don't play your fucking Pereiras and your Lingards, and
Play
like
them both on the same team at the same.
That was so
How?
stupid.
that
was
was
so
ridiculous. But yeah, we won't get into too much detail about the what's gone is gone. We do have an important away goal, which is important, which is great. Bruno is definitely going to start this next game. He fucking better start.
He will.
Yeah, I think I at least I see a 1-0. I'm not sure about 2 or 3, but we'll definitely get a goal in. We're going to progress, and who knows? I'd like we'll try and make a special segment out of the Europa League as well. I think that'll be great to have to talk, apart from the Premier League and stuff. So yeah, I honestly, yeah, 1-0 for me. I'm gonna say stick with 1-0.
All right. All right. I think United are riding on this confidence right now. We've been playing well. And I'm gonna go with I know we just beat Watford 3-0, but I feel like we're playing at home again. We're still riding on that momentum. I easily see either a 2-0 or a 3-0 win for United here is what I think. I think if we play the same team, and even with Scotty back in the team now, guys, he's looking stronger than ever, by the way. Like, even though he just came back from an injury, I felt like it didn't seem like he was shaky or anything, as soon as he came on. So that was great to see as well. So I feel like we have a much stronger team now going into the second leg. So, and I think Ollie is pretty aware of the mistake he made. Like, yeah, you don't play a team like that, especially after saying something like that. And yeah, so yeah, it's. I would say I'm gonna go with 3-0. So
Yeah, dude, I could see a 3-0. I'm saying 2-0, but I could easily see a 3-0 because they have a shit team. Like Club
yeah,
Brugge is.
yeah,
You were
they're
just
not that.
watching them. You were like, we should be crushing them. If we played our
Yeah.
first 11, we would have
Yeah,
crushed them away from home,
yeah,
and the tie would have been sealed.
yeah.
But
Do you reckon Greenwood will start that game?
yeah, dude, he only missed it because he was ill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
you're right.
I think he will start. Maybe even Igalo will get a start, but I don't know.
Mm.
I hope that
But I
Igalo will
don't.
get a start and
And
Martial will be
Martial on the left.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if Ollie's really thought about that yet. I mean, it would be interesting to see Igalo get the start, but I don't know. I think Ollie's very fixed in on Marcel being this number 9 right now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I have a
Ollie is
little bit of a
keeps on
different
going there.
prediction. I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna play a similar team to what we played in the first leg, just purely because of our
that.
fixtures ahead. Because right after the Bruges game, we got Everton, we got City, we got Tottenham, uh, Sheffield as well right after. So I honestly think he's gonna rest a lot of his players because we don't want a repeat of a Rashford. We don't want a repeat of a Pogba or a McTominay anymore. I think McTominay might get a start just because I think he's ready. Martial, I'm not sure he will start this game. I think it'll be Greenwood and Igalo to go
But
with.
yeah, but I think I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, we kind of we're banking everything. We can't just bank everything on the league right now because the race is too tight.
We can't.
And with the whole like City debate going on, like what the hell's going on with that, whatever's going on with that. So I
Yeah.
feel like Ollie needs it's only the last 10 games. So I think we should look at it that way right now. If we're gonna have any chance of, we need to keep our options open. If the league doesn't happen, then he has to go all in on the Europa, right? So I
Yeah.
think this is the time. Like, Everton, I think, is a easier game than what follows after that.
Yeah.
So I think I
I
do see
agree.
him. Yeah. So I do see him playing a much stronger team, and I
And I'm
see
just
us.
checking the fixtures, Kartik. We're playing Derby County on Friday, and we have a pretty good rest. So we go Friday at Bruges, Thursday evening, then Sunday Everton, and
Yeah.
then next Friday we're playing Derby,
Yeah.
which we can fucking rest people for. Like the
Yeah.
FA Cup, I couldn't give a fuck about. Like obviously it's amazing if we win, but I couldn't give a fuck. Like we need to win the
Yeah.
Europa League.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want Champions League next season, dude. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a
I
big
want
fuck
it.
Mourinho as well if we won the Europa? Would just be like,
Dude, I just want to
Mourinho,
fucking crush me,
I wanna.
dude. Dude, he's such a complaining little bitch. I am so sad for Tottenham fans. He's constantly like, oh, we don't have players, we don't have Harry Kane, we don't have Son. Fuck off, dude. Like, imagine Solskjaer was like that when we had so many players out. I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Mourinho is such a bitch. Anyways, this is not a Mourinho podcast.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to get into it. It's just there's just so much trauma there. I don't want to bring it out right now.
It's too much trauma. But okay, I think that's a really good place to end up.
Right.
Leave your thoughts on the Watford game. Leave your thoughts on the VAR decision. How do you think we played? How do you think we played against Bruges? And what is your score prediction against Club Bruges? Leave your comments in the place below. And thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah, right there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to tune in to our next podcast. We will see y'all soon.
All right. Peace out.